Harper Business and HarperAudio present The AI Con: How to Fight Big Tech's Hype and Create the Future We Want by Emily M. Bender and Alex Hanna. Read by Jade Wheeler. For my kids and the world I'd like them to have. Emily. For my dad, who knew what work was. Alex. Preface. This book is the result of a joyful collaboration between a linguist, Emily, and a sociologist, Alex, rooted in a shared drive to deflate AI hype through analysis grounded in our academic fields and pointed humor. We met online in 2020, participating in broader discussions about the impacts of technology sold as AI. In 2020 and 2021, we collaborated with 3 other scholars, led by the inimitable Deb Raji, on some academic papers critiquing the dismal evaluation and data handling practices of the field. Since then, we've continued to use social media to take down ridiculous claims of tech boosters, as well as bad journalism that fawns over them. This work can be trying, since speaking out against people's favorite toys, tech leaders who appeal to a particular type of nerdy masculinity, and exploitative practices draws all kinds of negative pushback. Many people, especially in Silicon Valley and computer science departments, are willing to grant tech companies a good deal of grace for technologies that don't live up to the hype. Beyond that, this work frequently involves contending with racism, sexism, and white supremacy and their associated violence. What kept us going was community, largely in the form of group chats, where we poked fun at all the hype, as well as processing all the nasty replies we received. In one of those group chats, in April 2022, together with our colleagues Timnit Gebru and Margaret Meg Mitchell, we debated how to most effectively respond, especially when the hype takes the form of longer artifacts, such as scientific papers, podcast interviews, and long-form journalism. Meg suggested something in the style of the TV show Mystery Science Theater 3000, MST3K, in which the characters take terrible sci-fi movies and make them enjoyable with running commentary. A few months later, Emily came across a blog post that was too long for a tweet thread takedown, a Medium post by Blaise Aguirre-y of Google titled, "Can Machines Learn How to Behave?" At an estimated 60-minute read, every single paragraph was oozing AI hype. But the thought of writing a tweet thread or a blog post to counter each part of that seemed exhausting. So Emily asked in the group chat if anyone was up for giving it the Mystery Science Theater treatment. Alex, a big fan of MST3K, jumped on board, and an accidental podcast was born. We live-streamed our takedown of the blog post on the platform Twitch, figuring it would take an hour or so. 1 hour wasn't enough, so we scheduled a second, and then a third, and then just kept going. A few more streams in, we heeded many calls to turn our series into a podcast and brought Christy Taylor on board as a producer. Our show, Mystery AI Hype Theater 3000, is billed as a space in which to seek catharsis in this age of AI hype. We find the worst of it and pop it with the sharpest needles we can find. Those needles are strong because they're built from linguistic and sociological analysis, but sharp because they're honed in humor. One of our taglines on the podcast is, "Along the way, we learn to always read the footnotes." That's because checking the sources for all of the hype-tastic claims often gives us a good vista on the house of cards, that is, thin research methods, shoddy argumentation, and questionable citation practice, supporting the
Sample complete. Ready to continue?